Story 1: Echo Street. I arrived at the base in Louisiana in 2006. I won't name it. You can guess if you know, but the stories whispered through the barracks halls still cling to me like southern humidity. A man in a top hat walking the dirt road near the storage compound. A deranged escapee hit by a patrol car who vanished into the woods. But there was one story that haunted me more than any other: the girl. It was my second night on shift. I'd been paired with an older airman, a quiet guy with tired eyes and a voice that never rose above a whisper. He told me the story in the dark, parked near the compound, engine off, music silenced. Years ago, during construction, a little girl had been visiting her father, one of the workers. She'd climbed one of the half-built structures and slipped, falling to her death. The tale unsettled me not because of the details, which were vague, but because of the cold, hollow way he told it. As if the truth wasn't in the facts, but in the fear that lingered afterward. 3 years passed. I was used to that part of the base by then. The compound had mostly shut down, just a few routine patrols remained. That night, we were given a damn cattle truck since our regular vehicle was in the shop. It was just past 4 a.m. when we pulled in for our final check. My partner was driving. I was riding shotgun, flashlight in hand. The air felt different as we turned onto Echo Street, the long stretch inside the compound where the girl supposedly died. The usual night noises, the low grumble of the diesel engine, the static on the radio grew muted. Muted, but not gone. Like sound was being swallowed by the shadows. Then I heard it. A groan. A low, sick, throat-tearing sound, like someone dying very slowly. Like something caught between breath and scream. It chilled my spine. My first instinct was to blame my partner. "Cut it out," I snapped. He looked confused. Am I going too fast? I turned off the music, listened. The sound came again, closer now. Groaning, wet, human, wrong. You hear that? I whispered. He killed the engine. We sat in total silence. Then we both heard it. That same moan, but now it was everywhere. Inside the truck. Outside, it pressed against the windows like breath on glass. Then it came louder, groaning, moaning, drowning. He didn't speak, just threw it in gear and floored it. We barreled through the compound like the devil himself was after us, the metal clatter of the cattle gate behind us chasing the sound. I jumped out to open the gate, hands shaking, every second outside the cab stretching into something unreal. He watched my back, eyes darting. Once through, we sped back to base and went straight to the flight chief, ready to be mocked or reprimanded. Instead, he listened. And then, quietly, he said, "I believe you. Happened to me too." He pointed at a building behind us. There, and once on Echo. I've never returned to Echo Street after dark. And I never will. Story 2: The Heads in the Jungle. I haven't told many people this, not even my kids. It happened during my time as an RTO in Vietnam. I was barely out of high school, drafted, and clueless about war. But I learned fast. The jungle doesn't teach lessons gently. I was reassigned after our comms guy got blown apart by a landmine. The unit was tight-knit, hardened. They didn't trust me at first. That changed during our first firefight. It was sudden, deafening, confusing. When it ended, 3 Viet Cong lay dead. Young, like me. Maybe with families. I didn't feel guilt, exactly just emptiness. A few weeks in, my CO told me someone from Intel wanted to speak with me. That's when I met R. C. K. Douglas. He wasn't like any officer I'd ever seen. Older, calculated, quiet. Our own NCOs treated him like he was made of glass and fire at once. He told me I'd be seconded to his operation. I didn't have a choice. We flew into a patch of jungle, landing near a set of enemy huts taken during some recent battle. The place felt off. Soldiers stood guard, but they didn't talk, didn't blink. Some wore gas masks, others didn't. But they all had the same dead-eyed expression, like something had hollowed them out. Douglas brought me to a hut and told me to wait. I tried. I really did. But curiosity got the better of me. I slipped out and peeked into the main tent. What I saw inside made my legs go weak. A table. 6 containers. In each one, a human head. VC maybe. Their mouths and eyes twitched, not fully alive, not truly dead. Tubes snaked out from their throats. The green fluid inside the jars was bubbling, reacting, doing something. Douglas appeared behind me, furious. He didn't explain, just shoved me back to my hut. The next thing I remember, I woke up in triage. Broken ribs. Collarbone fractured. I was told I'd been caught in an explosion. I never saw Douglas again. I never found the base again either. And no one else seemed to know anything. But I do. And I remember those twitching heads. And I wonder what were they trying to make them say. Story 3. Numbers in the Fog. We were sent to investigate the sudden reappearance of Bravo unit. They'd gone silent weeks before, and no one knew what had happened. Then a transmission came through, no voices, just numbers. 58,247, over and over. We rolled out at night in our armored vehicle. The road twisted through thick underbrush, fog pressing in from all sides like a living thing. Sergeant Davis sat up front, radio clenched in one gloved hand. I asked if he was sure we had the right place. That's what command confirmed, he muttered. We arrived at the base. It was a ghost town. Buildings stood empty, windows shattered, doors swinging on rusted hinges. We moved through the compound carefully. Furniture overturned, blood stains, scattered rounds, signs of violence, but no bodies, no enemies, no friends. The radio inside the command center still worked. The transmission played on a loop. 58,247, 58,247. What does it mean? Corporal Lee whispered. We found the lab last. Its door hung broken. Inside chaos. The stench of rot and chemicals filled the air. Bravo's soldiers were inside, but wrong. Dead, yes, but not wounded. No bullet holes. No signs of a fight. Just horror carved into every one of their faces. In the corner, Commander Haskins. Cold, eyes open, a notepad in his stiff grip. Scrawled across the paper, 58,247. They're coming for us. That was when it hit. The panic, the realization. This wasn't a rescue mission. This was a warning. We ran. Fog closed in. We barely made it to the vehicle when something stepped out of it, something man-shaped but wrong. Davis screamed for us to move. We didn't look back. Back in the truck, Lee tried to contact command. All she got back was static and the numbers. 58,247. As the sun rose behind us, I felt no relief, only dread. We survived, but whatever took Bravo didn't want them found. And we were next on its list.